Adam Scott plays Ben Wyatt on Parks and Recreation, and you joined this show as a guest star right at the end of the season's second season. What was that like for you? And it was already an established show. Did you feel like you might mess it up if you joined?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always afraid of messing things up. It's especially a show that was already great. I didn't want to come in and rock the boat into mediocrity. That's for sure. It was nerve-wracking just because I was already a huge Parks and Rec nerd before getting the job. So, it was great, like walking around the set and being able to, touch Ron Swanson's desk and stuff like that. It was definitely I felt like a contest winner in a lot of ways. So yeah, I was pretty nervous about screwing things up, but was quickly kind of comforted because everyone on the show, all the actors are just really friendly people and really supportive, and the writers are amazing, and of course Mike Schur and Greg Daniels and everybody that runs the show is terrific. It's a very kind of tightly knit, very friendly group of people. So all my worries were kind of quickly put at ease,
Yeah, you can totally see that come through when you're watching the show, Adam. And thankfully for you and for Rob Lowe, the show is even better now that you guys are on it. And what's been the feedback like? Have you been pretty happy with the notices and reviews?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been on a network show before that's, you really see the difference, on a network show that has several million people watching it. And it's really gratifying in a way I didn't really expect, which is, just walking around and having people come up and talk about how much they love the show. And I think that Parks and Rec has really friendly, smart fans. They're really cool people. And it's just great to talk to people who, it seems like they genuinely have as much fun watching the show as we do making it. And just to kind of get that direct feedback is really lovely in a way I had never experienced, but I had always sort of imagined what it would be like, and it's a very nice feeling in a way I didn't expect.
I wanted to ask you, I mean, we could talk about, I'm sure you could talk about your cast members all day long, but I wanted to focus on two in particular. When the show first started, I guess most of your scenes were with Rob Lowe because you come in together. Talk about him as being, I think he's probably a very underrated comedic actor.
Yeah. He's hilarious. And I think that, they've written a great character for Rob, and Rob has kind of run away with it. He's just incredible. But, he's always been funny. Think back to Wayne's World or Tommy Boy or Invention of Lying recently. Like, he's really funny. Yeah. So it's great to see him get this really plumb, incredible, material. I think he's just terrific and so funny, and able to show everybody how funny he is in a lot of ways that he hadn't been able to before. And I think he's just terrific.
And as this season has progressed, you've had more and more scenes for obvious reasons with Amy Poehler. Talk about working with her as well.
Amy is just terrific. I want to say this without sounding stupid. It's gratifying when you meet like the funniest person you've ever met, and they also end up being one of the nicest people you've ever met. It's just a real joy to work with her. She really sets the tone on set, and so it's a very kind of low key, fun set where you feel safe to do whatever you want to do, and you feel safe to make a fool out of yourself, and maybe it'll be funny, maybe not, but it's a very kind of supportive, safe environment, and I think that a large part of that is due to Amy and kind of the tone she sets just as a person and as an actor as well. It's so fun.
And you're so lucky, Adam, because it's like lightning has struck twice for you, because you were obviously on Party Down for a couple of years before Parks. It's probably what you're also most known for, and that has such a cult following even now when it's not even really airing on Stars, and had such an amazing cast to work with. So what can you tell us about that awesome experience?
It's just it was just a dream, you know. I mean, you're right. I've been really lucky not only to be able to be on two great shows that I would have been fervently watching anyway, just as a fan, but also to be kind of surrounded by these incredible casts that, certainly make me look a lot better than I am in both cases. Party Down was just a terrific, it was kind of like we all just kind of jumped into it together, just a bunch of friends. We didn't know if it was going to be any good. We didn't know what it was. We just knew it kind of sounded fun. And, it was on Stars, which at the time didn't have any original programming, really. It had maybe a couple of things that they were sort of putting out there every once in a while, but they didn't have a profile in the original programming space at all. So the stakes were a little low. Like, if this is good, maybe people will see it, but if it's not good, people probably won't see it. So let's just give it a shot and see what it's like. And then around like the second or third episode that we shot, where we were like, well, this feels good. This feels like it's something special. Excuse me. Let's like keep doing this and see what else we come up with. And then we really kind of started going and hadn't even, by the time we finished the first season, none of us had even seen any of it, but we just felt like there was something special there. And then we're, happily surprised when we saw it and it was good, and so we're all just aching to get back together and work together again soon, hopefully on a movie sometime in the next year or so.
Well, being an awards website, we're always interested in talking about the Emmys, and should you be nominated in the supporting actor category in July, have you thought about which episode you might pick?
Oh, I think it would be a little presumptuous of me to even consider that. But
it's always good to think about it at this stage, because if that happens, it'll be a very fast turnaround on getting one put together and sent off to the Academy. We had a couple of suggestions for you if you want me to throw out a couple of titles and let you comment on them. I think my number one choice for you would probably be Media Blitz. Yeah. You are stumbling through that whole episode trying to keep your balance, basically, because everybody's making fun of your past as a teen mayor. What'd you think about the Media Blitz episode?
Well, thank you for saying that. I love it. I love that episode. Harris Whittles wrote that, and I was still fairly new to the show. I think that was like my fourth or fifth episode I had shot, and so I was a little nervous to be kind of given one of the kind of main storylines. I wasn't sure if I was ready to do that yet, so but luckily the storyline involved me being terrified, so it kind of worked out. But yeah, I think Harris did a great job writing that episode, because there are a lot of balls up in the air with that episode as well, because we also have Chris Pratt getting arrested, and there's all of that happening at the same time. That's a fun episode. Thanks for saying that.
Well, another one that I had thought about was maybe one of your most recent ones, which was The Bubble, where you get to not only have some good scenes with Amy, but you've got the confrontation with her mother, who you're meeting for the first time. What did you think about that particular one?
Oh, yeah, that's a fun episode as well. I think on The Bubble, I think that's the episode, and I think this will be in the outtakes in this season 3 DVD, but Amy and I had a laughing fit that lasted maybe like 12 minutes, where we couldn't stop. And I don't even remember what it was about. It was just one of those things where you just can't stop. And it was funny and cute for a few minutes, but then eventually everybody's like, all right, you want to shoot the scene? Should we just get going? We have lunch coming up. You're adorable. So I have really fond memories of that episode. It was really fun.
Well, Adam, look, normally we would say goodbye now, but we have a special question for you. We spoke to Nick Offerman the other day, and we thought we'd ask him what he would ask you if he had the chance on one of these things. He mentioned that he, like you and his wife Megan, are huge geeky fans of reality TV. And you probably know where I'm going with this, but he wants to know why you were so bored at the finale of Survivor. Just really wants to know why.
And we have a photo on the screen right now showing you in the audience being very bored.
Yeah, and if so, our viewers will be able to see that you just don't seem to be very impressed with Jeff Probst at that particular point. And so everyone's really dying to know. That's what we thought we'd ask you.
No, I wasn't bored. I was psyched.
Well, the camera just caught you at the wrong moment when maybe you were very intent on what was being said.
Well, I got self-conscious in the audience because the camera they were interviewing somebody right in front of me, and I got self-conscious in front of the camera. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, Nick Offerman, shut up.
Perfect.
Well, speaking of Nick, we appreciate the fact that you're wearing clothes today, because he was not in the interview that we had with him earlier in the week.
Of course he wasn't.
He was in his wood shop and drinking. What was that, Rob? What kind of alcohol was that?
It was some kind of beer. Looks good.
So we appreciate your dressing up today.
Yeah, thank you.
You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get with Offerman, and I apologize for his behavior. I apologize for all of his behavior in the future. I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And I promise you, if you have me again next time, I'm wearing a tuxedo. All right?
Yeah. I think we should be dressing up for these occasions, but people aren't listening to me. But hopefully you'll follow that for next time, Anna. But we really do thank you so much for your time today, and everyone's got their fingers crossed for the show and for its actors, especially you. And we'll see what happens at any time.
Well, thanks for having me, you guys. It was great talking to you.